No pressure. Okay, so I am going to make a grilled chicken, right? Very simple, basic grilled chicken, but I'm going to make a garlic aioli sauce to go with it. So for those of you that are Clevelanders, right, there is Joe's Deli in the Rocky River, Fairview area, right? And they have the most amazing chicken wrap that I used to love to indulge in before I got diagnosed with celiac. And they use like this garlic. I don't know if it is an aioli, but it is so good. This garlic mayo-y sauce that they put on it. And oh my God, I dip fries in it. It was amazing. And this is the closest thing that I've found to that. So I'm really excited. So in our house, we use a lot of, like, when we do burgers and things like that, we do that Gouda burger with the jam and stuff. We make that. We like to take something sort of basic, like a burger or a chicken or whatever, and we add different sauces to it or different seasonings to just, spice it up. So it's not really about complicated recipes in our house. It's about what you're going to add to the basic recipes, right? So the first thing we're going to do is I am going to heat up this grill. So a couple of people have used our amazing grill, and the thing that's kind of cool about it, and some of them mentioned, is that you can use it like in a casserole position, or you can use it like a press. And this is heavy. If you've ever used a grill press, my previous life was in restaurants, and we would use a grill press to press on the bacon. If somebody wanted crispy bacon, right? You take, there's almost like a brick, right? You take it and you just set it right on top. That's kind of how this feels. Okay. So think about that when you're thinking, when they talk about using it in the sort of grilling position. All right. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to heat it up. They do advise that you heat it up for about 2 minutes, and they recommend you can put like some veggies in there for 2 minutes. When we first got the grill, they were like, put a slice of bread in there. And I was like, no, thanks. Because if I do, then I can't eat anything that comes out of it. So I am going to put a slice of bread in there, but I'm using gluten-free. All right. So this is a gluten-free, like ciabatta bun or ciabatta bun, however you want to pronounce it. Right. And I'm just going to cut it. And so for those of you know anybody in your life that's gluten-free, these are amazing. It is the problem with gluten-free is the bread and the cakes and whatnot, they have a tendency to be really dense. And you see all the holes in this. Oh my goodness, delicious. It was a happy day when I found these. So I'm going to heat up my grill, and I'm just going to put these face down in the grill, right? And I could put it in the press position, but I don't want them smushed, right? So I'm just going to put it in the casserole position. That way they'll be toasty on the front. I love a good toasty bun. And that was something that was so disappointing when I got diagnosed with celiac, because I have problems with a lot of cross-contamination. So nobody can have a toasty bun in my house. If I can't have it, nobody can have it. No, on the grill, if they put the bun on the bread on the grill, and then they move the chicken there or the burger later, if they don't clean it properly, I get sick from it. So nobody gets toasty buns anymore unless we do them this way, or if we do them on the stove. So we do that. But yeah, so somebody was asking, it's a Char brand. Yeah, totally yummy. All right, so for all the gluten-free people in your life, you can wow them the next time they come over for a burger by having a good bun for them, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to tenderize the meat, okay? So yes, this is a Ziploc bag, and this is the only reason why I have Ziploc bags in my house is to tenderize my meat. All right, so I usually double bag it because sometimes, sometimes it pokes a hole in it, right? And I do not want chicken juices all over my kitchen, right? Gross. So I'm just going to take a mallet, right? So this is a Tupperware one, actually. And it was a gift. It was, well, I earned it, I think. And so, but yeah, so, and that's the cool thing, like, about being in Tupperware, is that sometimes we have things like this that we're able to get that aren't in our catalog. And so, so sometimes we earn them for free from Tupperware, which is super cool when we get like some special products for free. And so it's just one of those little perks, right? I don't do it for the free products, but it sure is nice. All right. So if you've never tenderized meat before, the big thing is you just kind of want to You want to feel it because you'll be able to feel if it's broken down, right? And I like to tenderize my chicken before I grill it because it just makes it so, so tender. If you've ever had grilled chicken and it comes off and it's kind of dry and tough, this is a great way to take care of that. So I don't do this all the time because sometimes I'll do a marinade and I'll just cut the chicken a different way so that it'll cook evenly on the grill. But sometimes I do like to tenderize it, especially if I'm going to be using our grill, right? All right, so I'm going to pull this out. It's nice and heated up. I'm going to slide this over. All right, so I'm going to see if I can bend this down for you guys to see what I've got going on here. All right, so this is hot, remember? So I'm going to take that and set it aside real quick. Ooh, these are toasty. Hold on. I forgot to plate. All right, so I'm going to put my buns. They're nice and little toasty there, right? And if I wanted more toasty, I could easily just like throw them back in there. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab a fork to pull this chicken out, and I'm going to put the chicken right into this. And this is going to be a big piece. Remember, these was just 2 chicken breasts. Okay, so now it's nice and flat. It's gonna be, and you can hear it kind of sizzle. It's already starting to cook. So I'm just going to kind of push it around to get it kind of centered in there, right? And when it comes out, I'll season it with salt. You can't, sometimes if you season like white meat with salt beforehand, it dries it out. It pulls some of the moisture out of the meat while it's cooking. So I'm just going to toss this in. And I'm going to put it in for about, it's still kind of thick in there. So I'm probably going to put it in for about 3 minutes and check on it and flip it over maybe. And then that way I'll just kind of do it that way. All right. So, all right. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and make this aioli. And there are a couple of ways to make aioli, right? They do make mixes that are just kind of like a powdery mix that you just kind of mix with some mayonnaise and such. And then I'm just going to show you how to make one from scratch. That way, if you can't find the powdery mix, you're not out of luck, right? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take these 2 cloves of garlic, and I'm just going to put it in our press. You can mince it as well if you prefer to use your knife or whatever. You could also use our chopper. Sometimes I find when you're just doing like 1 clove of garlic or 2 cloves of garlic, I usually want it to be a little bit, I don't know, I want it to be finer. It gets knocked around in there. There's just like too much space sometimes. And so what you want to do, and something that you can do as well, now those were just raw cloves of garlic, but something that you can do is you can actually make a foil packet and you can put your garlic cloves in there with some oil, and then you can pop it into the oven for like 5, 8 something minutes at 350 or so. Or if you already have something in the oven, just put it on the edge of the pan with whatever's in there and then pull it out, and it's going to be like a roasted garlic. It's just going to add another layer of flavor on there. But what we want to do is we want to make kind of a paste out of this. So we're going to take the knife and we're going to drag it, right? You see that? So we're going to take the knife. There's still a whole bunch on here. Let me get it off. And we're just going to, sorry, my allergies are crazy today. All right, and we're just going to drag this to just kind of like mush it down into a paste. You see how that's getting nice and pasty? It's not quite as, it was minced before, and now it's getting nice. And what's this going to do is this is going to bring out so much flavor in this garlic. It's going to be delicious, like seriously delicious. And you probably could buy a garlic paste, I guess, but I mean, like, you know, if you already got garlic cloves anyways, now you can do it yourself, and you don't have to worry about having all these different things in your house, like those jars of like minced garlic and jars of chopped garlic and garlic paste. You can do it all yourself, right? All right, so that is that. All right, and then this is just 1/2 cup of mayonnaise, and we'll have this this recipe out for you. Lydia was working on it for us. Lydia, who went first, she is our recipe guru, right? So she actually types all these recipes up for us, and she's amazing. So we have Lydia to thank for all these recipes that you're going to get here tonight. All right, so so we have our mayonnaise in there, and then I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put this. I'm going to, you know, mash this one more time. Oh my gosh, look at that! Oh, it's going to be so tasty. All right, so I am going to put that right in there. Yum, yum. All right, so we're done with these things. Let me get them out of my way. And then I'm going to put a little bit of, I want to use a different knife. I'm going to use, put a little bit of lemon in there. Not a lot, okay? Because if you put a lot in there, it's going to really alter the taste. And so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put a little bit. And here's the thing. say you put too much lemon in there, right? Because I've done that before. I've put too much lemon in here and I'm like, woo, when I went to taste it, all right, all you have to do is add a little bit more mayonnaise. It's no big deal, right? That's the cool thing about like when you're making sauces and such. Is that, oh, I got this over here. When you're making sauces and things like that, and I'm just gonna do like, this is about like half a teaspoon, all right? I'm gonna throw that in there. All right. But when you're doing sauces and you taste it and you're like, oh, it's too tart, or oh, it's too something, just keep adding stuff. You know, it's not really a science. You know, it's not like baking where you need to be super accurate or it won't come out right. You know, you're stirring it and it's going to come out right. Oh, I could whisk this actually. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of olive oil. Oh, this is new. I usually use avocado oil. You can use whatever it is that you have on hand. I just happen to pull this olive oil out. I use lots of different oils. Amy was talking about using she was talking about using coconut oil. Yeah, coconut oil, avocado oil. Sometimes I use like lard, like I use all kinds of crazy stuff sometimes. Just trying to just try out different flavors. Different oils give different flavors. And sometimes you want your oil to flavor and other times you do not, right? You want it to just like add a smooth, buttery taste. All right, so there's that. Let's check on this chicken. All right. Whew. Oh, and I forgot, I also sauteed up some onion over here, right? So I could have some caramelized onions. Now, here's a key to caramelized onions. You can just, you know, put them in a pan and add some oil or fat or whatever to it to help give them that like caramelized sort of flavor. You can also add a little bit of sugar. So if you like sweet caramelized onion, if you add a little bit of sugar in there, it is really, really tasty. So don't be afraid to throw a little bit of sugar in there and it will just like add just a little sweetness to that. All right, so this is not done. I can tell by just the way it feels, right? If you don't know that method, you can Google it. You can actually like squeeze parts of your hand and it'll tell you like, if it feels like this, it's not cooked all the way, all that kind of good stuff. I learned that when I was in school because I took culinary classes a lifetime ago. And so I'm going to put this in for just another 2 minutes. It doesn't need much, right? And then I want to just kind of take a quick taste of this and make sure it's like the right. Whoa, 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 whoa. Too much salt. All right. So I'm going to add a little bit more mayonnaise to that. See, it's so easy to fix things, right? But oh my gosh, that garlic, oh, that fresh garlic has such a great bite. Oh my goodness, it tastes so good. All right, so this is a super simple recipe that you can totally wow your friends with. And you want to use mayonnaise in this. Somebody just commented something about mayo. You want to use real mayonnaise in this because if you use Miracle Whip, it'll alter the flavor because Miracle Whip has a sweetness. It's actually not a mayonnaise. It's more like it's considered a dressing. So it just adds too much flavor to it. So that's why you kind of want to stick with mayonnaise for this because it doesn't have a sweet flavor. It's more of a savory flavor, but it's so good. And oh my gosh, we like seriously, we dip French fries in this. We dip chips in this. Like it's so doggone good. Like you are going to love it. And when you serve it at your next like party or whatever, people are going to be like, what is this? What is this sauce for your burgers? And people are going to be like, oh my goodness. So we're just going to take that chicken out and then I'm going to cut it to the size of my bun. Right? And then you can double up the chicken or not. I'm going to put some of the aioli on both sides of the bun, put some onions. I'm like, what is it called? Put some onions on there and then go ahead and put my chicken on there. And it is such a delicious, healthy slider for you to be able to enjoy in the summer months, right? All right. Thanks, everybody.